Hello students, I hope you all are fine at your home. According to ICSE guideline, today we have to take a pledge which is must. You have to follow after me. I, Manish, you just take your name, commit to be vigilant and bear in mind at all times the risk of myself and my colleagues from COVID-19. I promise to take all necessary precautions that prevent the spread of this deadly virus. I promise to follow and encourage others to follow the key COVID appropriate behaviors, to always wear a mask, face cover, especially when in public places, to maintain a minimum distance of 6 feet from others, to wash my hands frequently and thoroughly with soap and water. Together we will win this fight against COVID-19. Okay, so today I'm going to start the half part of the last chapter. Last time we were discussing about the pollution, and in this last time pollution, we have covered the types of pollution. In these types, we have already covered the air pollution, water pollution. Today I'm starting the soil pollution. What does it mean by the soil pollution? Actually, because of the accumulation of solid waste, it is either biodegradable or basically non-biodegradable material is accumulated with the soil. It means deposited with the soil, and this causes a soil pollution. We can say also that the infertility of soil or the wastage of soil. It is also called the soil pollution. What are these main sources? Generally, we know that there are different chemicals and poisonous things. They are also causing so many diseases. But what are its main sources? So first of all, its main source is the industrial waste. What is the industrial waste? Generally, we know that there are two main causes for any pollution. One is the industries. Second one is the urbanization. So always remember, you have to keep 2 points: industrialization and urbanization. These two are the very important point for any kind of pollution. In the agriculture activity, I can also say that. Okay, so industrialization, urbanization, and agriculture activities. So these are the three main causes of the any pollution. Okay, it is which is easy for understanding and learning answers also. So industrial waste, it means a dumping of chemicals or contaminate the water, air, soil. Basically we are talking about the soil, so soil. So these are also because there are some factories, just like the fertilizer factories, they are spreading fly ash and waste. Okay, these chemicals directly accumulated into soil and they causes a soil pollution. Second one is the urban commercial. Remember, okay, commercial and domestic waste which is coming from our house. In commercial it means there are some small industries established in urban. They also, basically what are these material? These materials are the non-biodegradable material. Non-biodegradable or biodegradable, already you have studied in biology. Biodegradable, it means which can decompose completely by the microorganisms. Okay, and non-biodegradable, it can remain as it is. Okay, it cannot change, it cannot degrade, it cannot breaking down in smaller things. Okay, just like glass, plastic, polythene. So the chemicals, these all are the non-biodegradable, it remains as it is. Next one, it is the chemical fertilizers. Nowadays, for the increasing the productivity of crops, the farmers are using chemical fertilizers. In this chemical fertilizers, two main ingredients. These are the phosphorus and potassium. We generally also called as NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So this phosphorus and potassium is mixed with the soil. Sometimes it also run off with the water and it will mix into rivers and they also pollute the water, but basically we are talking the soil. Now what will happen when we are using these chemical fertilizers? So it bind with the soil particles. Okay, it bind with the soil particles. After the excessive use of a long period of these chemical fertilizers, there is a thin layer of chemicals deposited over the soil. Now this is the soil, na? So there is a thin white layer is deposited over the soil. Then what will happen? It will not allow water and air to mix with soil. That's why this soil become infertile. This is the bad effect of these chemical fertilizers. Next one, it is the biomedical waste, which are also called the we can say that the hospital waste. There are so many things just like the plastics, metal needles, the chemicals which are using for the different the expiry medicines, na? Expiry medicines is expiry injections. Okay, the vaccines, these all are they directly dumped into the soil and it cannot biodegradable. It cannot degrade. Okay, it means it will not break down. It will remain as it is in the soil. That's why it also pollutes the soil pollution. And another thing, there are some wastage, there are some polythenes or the pathogens. It means those they are causing the disease, they are also mixed into the soil and they are affecting the near area. Okay, these different kinds of diseases. Next one, it is the pesticide. Pesticides, you know very well about the what is the pesticides. Generally for the killing microorganisms or either the pest weeds on the crop, the farmers are using the pesticides or weedicides for killing it, and they are completely a chemical, they are the poisonous. So there are also some important microorganisms or important worms just like the earthworm, and there are some also important just like the azobacter or nitro fixing bacteria are there. They kill them and because of that the soil become infertile. So this is all about, already you have studied from since sixth onwards or maybe the third onwards. Okay, so it is not that much difficult. You can write by your own, you have to remember only these points, then it is very easy for to understand. So these all are the points by which the soil is polluting. Okay, next one, it is the radiation pollution. What is radiation? There are some light waves, the highly intensive lights, or we can say the highly charged particles. Okay, when just like there is a ultraviolet rays, you have heard about it. Okay, there are cosmic waves coming out from the cosmic. So these are, their intensity is very high. They are also called as the electromagnetic rays or highly charged particles. When it will fall on any place, it will affect either on the human beings, soil, any elsewhere. Okay, water. So it can make the particles charge or the affected. So for this, there are different sources. What are these? Generally, we know that they are nuclear power plants, disposal of nuclear wastage, mining of radioactive substance. Because the radioactive substance which is used in the nuclear power plant, they are also mined from the mining. Okay. Then fallout of bombard or the bomb explosion, nuclear weapon testing, just like for before making a weapon, they have to test, na? So nuclear weapon tests. Okay, or nuclear accident, sometimes nuclear just like there was a Fukushima power plant, or it is also Chernobyl in 1984. Actually it is 1984-86. There is a Chernobyl accident or Chernobyl which is in the Ukraine. Earlier it is in USSR Russia. Okay, now it is in Ukraine. Earlier it is called USSR. So there is a leakage of one container because of the failure of the cooling system, and because of that what will happen, the radiation is releasing. Near about 31 people, those that are working in this nuclear plant, they are killed, and near about 2 lakh peoples are evacuated from that area because the radius of that area is very high. Even the vegetations near to it, it is completely spoiled, they cannot grow because of this Chernobyl incident. So this is very badly effect, and it is just like you also heard one incident. It is the Nagasaki. It is in 1945 Nagasaki, the bombarding by the America on Japan. okay, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, their effects still shows in some peoples and vegetations. It means how much, because the effect of radiation is not only on the body, it impact in the cell, not only in the cell, in the DNA material. You know what is the DNA, you have studied in biology what are the DNAs. So it affects not only the body, it means the penetration of the rays is very high, so that's why it impacts for the long period. Okay, so next, it is there are two sources, natural source and the man-made source. The natural source, we know that from the cosmic rays, the from sun, the cosmic rays. Okay, these are harmful rays. Okay, which are affecting on the that earth, either air, water, soil, whatever it is. Second one, it is the man-made sources. So there are so many man-made sources already we have discussed, but again I'm repeating. There are some nuclear power stations, so they are releasing some wastewater. They are nuclear weapons testing, they are generating a huge amount of waste. There is a mining process, generally uranium 235 is used for the nuclear power plant, and they are also excavated or the releasing from the mines, and these mines are also polluting water or the affecting area. Next one, it is the wastage from the research laboratories. There are some laboratories which are working on these uranium materials or the nuclear materials, so these are also releasing. There are some hospitals, they are diagnosed for the diagnosing, just like there is x-ray is also affecting. If generally we know that x-ray is good, but if on the same place you use x-ray for the long period, it cause a cancer. Okay, it is for new information for you. If x-ray is using on the same organ for the long period, so it can cause cancer because it damages the cell or even the cell material. And there are also some other reasons like nuclear accidents, nuclear bomb explosions, some medicines. So these all are the reasons about these radiation of pollution. Next one, we are talking about the noise pollution. What is the noise pollution? You know very well. When there is an unwanted sound or very high pitch sound, what is it? Near about 80 decibel. Near about 80 decibel. When these highly loud voice or loud sound, it causes a noise pollution. The what are the reasons? Again, the same reason: industrialization, urbanization. Okay, so these are the two reasons for the noise pollution. Mainly it is in the cities and towns. This noise pollution, not in village. You cannot hear any sound noise. It is in village. Very rarely when the machines are working. Now thresher in, but most of the time the very peace, calm atmosphere. But in the cities and villages, sorry, cities and towns, noise pollution is very high. Why? Because these such activities, what these such activities, just like the aeroplanes, trains, automobiles, loudspeaker, high pitch musics, the firecrackers, there are some construction sites, industries areas. So these all are the reasons of this noise pollution. Now what it damage? Basically it damage the hearing power of people. Maybe sometimes the people can deaf, बेहरा हो जाता है इंसान, they cannot listen anything. Okay, and another thing, that's why a very high stress in the city people or the town peoples, because they are their peace is different, their peace is completely disturbed because of this irritating atmosphere or the irritating high sound. Basically they are causing with her two types of diseases: physical diseases and mental diseases. Physical diseases like high blood pressure, ulcer, palpitation. Okay, so these fatigue, headache, vomiting. So these all are the physical diseases, and there are also some mental diseases. You know very well about it. Mental diseases about just like a depression. Nowadays it is very common: depression, irritability, tension, nsd, sorry, anxiety. So these all are the very common reasons by which this noise pollution causes. So you know very well about these are the common things. Now the sources, what are the sources? Already we have discussed, but again let me explain you. Just like the horns which are very high pitch sound, just like the buses, trucks, cars, scooters, they are using a loud horns. And even when the plane is take on and take off in the at the boat time, what will happen? The jet planes are having a very high sound. The tires, the crushing of tires, either the train, buses, aeroplanes, their tires also crushing sound is very high. And there are some machines which is in factory or industry, loudspeakers, bands, loud musics, so many activities. Even at your home you are using a loudspeaker or the very high pitched sound with a woofer or the music system, TV, radio, mobile. So these all commonly the loudspeakers, just like for the any event or for anything else. So these all are the reason, these are all the causes of this noise pollution. So this is all about very simple pollution, you know very well about it, only you have to remember some incident which is happened, just like the Chernobyl. Okay, so you have to remember this. The rest it is very easy. And very soon next month there is a examination, so you have to prepare for it. Thank you so much, next time we will meet.